Michigan outlasts Nebraska 31-3. That's my bad attempt at a joke, because I think if you watch this game, it might have been the most boring game I can remember watching in a considerably long time. I'm John Johnston, Corn Nation. Subscribe to my channel, please. Hit the like button. My God. I mean, most games that are just terrible games, you watch, and some teams commit turnovers, and really Nebraska was just completely inept on offense. And the defense, I think, played well enough to, they played well enough. 31-3 probably wasn't as bad as a lot of people thought it was. We started Chuba Purdy, and it looked like really just when Nebraska kind of gets things going a little bit, Chuba Purdy gets injured. And then, yay, Logan Smothers is going to come in. And then that guy, gets blown up 3 plays in a row, and we kick a field goal to keep our scoring streak alive. But the offense could do nothing the entire game. They weren't egregiously horrible. They didn't commit turnover after turnover and stupid mistake after stupid mistake. They just couldn't do anything. Mark Whipple gets injured. It's kind of like, what else could go wrong this season? Then when I say that, I think, oh my God, what have I jinxed? How much worse can this get? You keep saying that, and yet it happens week after week. The fact is this season's been over for a while. It was disappointing last week when we lost to Minnesota after having a 10-0 lead at halftime. I don't think anybody ever really gave us a chance in this game. Michigan's pretty good, and we're not very good at all. And I think right now it's just we're going to play 2 teams, Wisconsin and Iowa, that who knows if we can beat them. They're pretty inept themselves at times. So we have 2 more games. We have 2 more weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, left in this season. Probably the worst season for all of us in our lives. And I guess I'm going to tell you something. This is what I want you to take away from this. I'm a heart attack survivor and a brain injury survivor. And this is serious. When you have a heart attack, nobody tells you about the emotional fallout that you experience after it. See, when people get cancer, everybody gathers around them, and everybody rallies around anybody with cancer, because we know the effects of cancer and how hard that is to deal with, and how difficult it is to stay the course, and that it might, end our lives. When you have a heart attack, nobody ever prepares you for the anxiety and the depression and the anger you feel. So you just leave the hospital, and you're kind of left on your own and looking around and going, why do I feel this way? Why am I so terrified of everything? Why do I look at my bed at night and I can't sleep because I think I'm going to lay down and never wake up again? And I've spent the last over 7 years talking to heart attack survivors and brain injury survivors. And I know this is probably more serious than it should be right now, because, well, you know what? It fits. This sucks for all of us. And I've like I said, I've spent a lot of time talking to heart attack survivors and brain injury survivors. And one of the things that helps them is to know they're not alone. Everybody feels the anxiety and the depression and the anger after trauma. And, maybe pushing the Nebraska football this year being this terrible as trauma is a bit much. But the key is still there, is that we're all in this together. We're not alone in our feelings about this stuff. And it does matter, I think, to Nebraska. Let me explain it like this. I write books. I've written a couple books. There's 3 reasons why people read books. One is to educate, inform. The other one's entertainment, and the third is escape. Okay? So when you look at books, nobody would say, well, books aren't ever important, because books are very important. What about art? Art's important. Ballet, opera, all these things, music, provide us with something that makes our dull lives or our difficult lives that much easier to deal with. And nobody would ever dream of just saying, well, those things don't matter. Well, sports matter to a lot of us, and they particularly matter to us as Husker fans. So it's been a difficult year to get through. And I just want you to know that you're not alone in feeling like this is just depressing, and it's frustrating, and it's upsetting. I hope you don't go so far as to look at your bed and think, I wonder if I'm going to wake up again, because it's not that bad. But you know what? You're Husker fans. You're faithful. You're together. Here's what I want you to do. If somebody's having a bad day around you, I want you to just look at them and say, you're not alone. That's it. Just be kind to each other. We're going to get through this, and there's going to be better days ahead. There's probably going to be shittier days ahead sometimes, but there'll be better days. And we all kind of have to believe in that. I don't think it's really even worth talking about the football at this point. I mean, the quarterbacks look terrible. The offensive line is terrible. The running backs couldn't get anywhere because the offensive line was terrible. A lot of that has to do with the fact that Michigan is the number 3 team in the nation. They're 10-0 for the first time since 2006. And I don't know. That's about it. Fuck everything. Go Big Red. And stay together. Take care of each other. We will get through this.